Hello, my name is Randall DeHart. I'm one of the contractors accountants at Fast Easy Accounting in Lynnwood, Washington. And today I'm going to share with you the free contractors application checklist from Fast Easy Accounting here in Lynnwood. This checklist is something we use for our clients that we take care of the contractors application for payment. In order to do that, we provide this checklist on Excel, and if folks can fill this out, it makes everybody's life a lot easier. I'm going to give you a quick overview on how it works. It's very, very simple. You come up here and put the owner's name and mailing address. So in this example, I'm going to say the project is owned by Bob Along Enterprises. And Bob Along Enterprises is actually located in 1234 Main Street, Seattle, Washington, 98119. And this document goes to the attention of Bob Long. So whatever you put here is what will show up in the contracted application for payment. So for example, if you wanted to use Mr. Bob Long, or how you want to put it, that's what it's going to show up as. Now the project name is how you and or Bob Long Enterprises identifies a project. I'm going to say this is a restaurant remodel, and this restaurant remodel is taking place at 7894 Oak Avenue in Lynnwood, Washington, 98036. And the contact person at this address is Frank Hot Dog. So this is where your information will go. In this case, it's my favorite, Rock Creek Construction, and those who use QuickBooks will recognize this as their default construction company. In this case, Rock Creek Construction is actually located at 3456 Elm Boulevard in Lynnwood, Washington, 98036. And the contractor is John Dunn, because John gets it done. If there's an architect in the project and you want them on the P application, put their name and a mailing address here. If there is an architect, or if you don't want them on the distribution, don't put them here. In this case, I'm going to say there is an architect, and the architect's name is Wright Architects, Inc. They are located in 45678 Maple Avenue in Everett, Washington, just north of Lynnwood, and 98026. And the person involved there is Jim Tron. So the next thing you identify is who do you want to get a copy of the application for payment. You just simply put an X in each of the boxes that you want an application to be able to go. Now, one thing, keep it really clear. We don't actually send anything unless you give us permission and request us to do it. Otherwise, it's simply a case that you put it out, we prepare it for you, we email it to you, we fax it, PDF it, however it's easy for you to get. Now, if you know the sales tax rate, so in Washington State, it's real common, 9.5, and a lot of times if there's retention, if the work in place, put it here. If there's no retention, just leave it blank or make it 0. Totally up to you. In some cases, there is no sales tax. Now, for the people that we're doing your QuickBooks, we're handling all your QuickBooks setup, cleanup, maintenance, we know the sales tax rate, and we just need retention because it's all right there recorded in your QuickBooks file. Some of these projects, you're going to get a deposit in advance. I really am a big believer in that. Contractors are not bankers. Let's not finance anybody's project if we can help it. So we'll say you get an initial deposit, and you receive that deposit on October the 1st this year. And hasn't been applied yet, but the amount of deposit received was $20,000. You got a deposit for equipment, because in restaurants there can be some pretty substantial equipment, and I hate to have you be on the hook for that. So you took that deposit on the 2nd of $25,000. Some pretty expensive equipment in restaurants. So far we collected $45,000 in deposits. Now if I come down here, I'm going to get the schedule of values. So it's called schedule of values, it's called the estimation, the items, the work orders, there's all kinds of names for it. Schedule of values is kind of a default term we use in project management. So I'm going to make it really simple and say there's some demolition involved. Use them with the schedule of values is. Demolition is going to be $5,000. There is some HVAC involved, and that's going to be $10,000. There's going to be some plumbing involved, which I'm very familiar with, being a plumber at one point. And that was, say, we're going to make that $9,000 in plumbing. Then there is some carpentry involved. That is $8,000. There are some finishes, $12,000 in finishes, and it'll just keep going on and on and on, depending on how many things are in your schedule of values. You can break it up as much as you'd like. I've allowed 35 slots here, but you can always add more slots as a need be, not a problem, and I can actually custom develop a spreadsheet for you if need be. So I took the sales tax, which we put up here at 9.5, and multiplied that times the total of 44,000, gives the sales tax on the schedule of values. Now, if you've used our change order, which is a different program, or you have your own change order, there'll be a change order here, and we'll say we're going to add new oak bar. And I don't know a whole lot about restaurants, but I'm just going to say the bar I've got added. And that was added on the 10th, and that's going to run at their cost, which you're going to charge your customer, $6,000 is that add. And I'm going to delete the drinking fountain, and that was decided to be deleted on the 11th, and that's going to be a deduction of $1,000. So far I have subtotal change orders of 5,000, total change orders 5475. So you just keep adding and deleting changes as you go. The one thing that will not change is your base schedule of values. This is called your baseline. So that never changes. It's always going to be what it shows on your, it'll show that on the application for payment. What will change are the change orders. We'll give you a new baseline. It's really easy to follow on change order on the application for payment, and the deposits. Now every so often what's going to take place is we're going to apply, and this is a living document. So on the 20th, we applied that whole 20,000. So now that zeroes out. On 11/10, we applied that. It zeroed out. So the deposits now are zero. This is just basically it's just a worksheet. On the application for payment, it tracks everything in detail in 2 pages very nicely. If you have more than 3 or 4 deposits, we got a 3rd page that does a recap of deposits. But application for payment is very nice, and everybody loves it because you don't have to be a construction accountant to figure it out. It's very simple. If we can be of further assistance to you, I include a few hot links, one here, here, and here. And all you do is simply click on it one time, and it'll bring up our website. And actually we'll bring up the Contractors application for payment fast, easy accounting checklist. So this is where you download the checklist. It's totally free, doesn't cost you a dime. Feel free to use it, pass it around as often as you like. Hope this has been of service. Thank you very much. Bye for now.